Ever since it came out in 2020, the TVS iQube has been one of the most popular electric scooters in India, and it's not hard to see why. It's comfortable, practical, reliable, and reasonably affordable too. Speaking of affordability, this base 2.2 kWh variant of the iQube is one of the most affordable electric scooters you can buy in the country today. So does this version retain all the strong points of the other iQube variants? Before we answer that question, let me give you a bit of background about this scooter. You see, the very first iQube that TVS brought out back in 2020 had a 2.2 kWh battery. Subsequently, the company introduced versions with bigger batteries at a higher price. But with a fading subsidy, prices only kept going upward, and so last year, to combat this problem, TVS reintroduced this base 2.2 kWh variant. You see, most of the budget-friendly electric scooters from other manufacturers come with lesser performance, simpler parts, fewer features, slower chargers and longer charging times. But this base 2.2 kWh variant of the iQube really doesn't cheap out like that.
It has a large 30-litre boot, a reasonably fast 650-watt charger, a color TFT display, a 75 kph top speed, and even the front disc brake. Most of these features are also seen on the pricier variants, so aside from the smaller battery and consequently its lower range, from an end user perspective, you really don't get a lot less for your money.
The iQube may not turn many heads with its straightforward design, but as a scooter, it just does everything so well. Take the eco riding mode for instance. The eco mode on most other electric scooters feels dull and lethargic, but in the case of the iQube, you get an eco mode that's actually usable. You can keep pace with city traffic and even climb flyovers while you're in the eco mode without any hassle. While it does limit your top speed to 45 kph, switching to the faster power mode gives you more acceleration and a higher top speed. And even when the battery SOC fell below 5%, the iQube's performance never tapered off drastically and it was still reasonably usable. I'm also happy to report that the range indicator on the iQube is also very accurate and trustworthy, and you do get the range figure that is shown to you. In fact, in our tests, the iQube actually travels 76.4 kilometers on a single charge in eco mode compared to the 75 kilometers TVS claims it will do.
And since TVS supplies a reasonably quick 650-watt charger with this base iQube, its charging time is rather quick too. In our tests, the charger topped up a flat battery to full in 3 hours and 24 minutes, which gives this variant of the iQube one of the quickest charging times in the entire e-scooter market.
Aside from that, the iQube hasn't really changed from when we last rode it, and it still carries forward its plush, comfortable suspension setup which we've come to know and love. And even for a heavy-set rider like me, the iQube kept me reasonably comfortable on our less than ideal roads. And unlike some EVs which have really high floorboards because of the placement of their battery packs, the iQube has a really nice neutral riding triangle. This variant of the iQube has a marginally lower 75 kph top speed compared to the 78 or 82 kph top speed of the other variants, but in the real world that's of little consequence. While the iQube is reasonably quick, initial acceleration from its hub-mounted motor doesn't feel quite as zippy as that of my long-term Ather Rizta. But since it does have a hub-mounted motor, the iQube is absolutely silent, whether you're at 17 or 70 kph. The only sound you'll hear on our roads every so often is that of the charger rattling around in the boot. While TVS does give you a cardboard box to store the charger in, which is better than storing it without one, it's not a very elegant or effective solution. And speaking of storage, this variant of the iQube has a slightly smaller 30-litre boot compared to the 32-litre unit seen on the other variants. While it is a reasonably spacious area, it's not a very deep one, so storing tall or big things inside may prove to be a challenge. A couple of areas where I think the iQube can stand to improve is in that I think its charger mechanism should lock into place. As it stands today, anyone could unplug it and walk away with it, and do bear in mind this charger is quite pricey. And another thing I think TVS can improve is that the iQube should have a multi-function ignition key slot just like on the Jupiter. Unlocking the boot via its dedicated key slot is a more cumbersome process than it needs to be. What I've always loved about the TVS iQube is that it's a very no-nonsense electric scooter. In an age of riding modes, traction control and other electronic features getting in your way, riding the iQube is a very straightforward experience. You twist the key, press the start button and you go. But one area where TVS has needlessly complicated things is in the TFT display. First of all, its boot up sequence is just way too long. And second, you can only reset the trip meter via the TVS app on your smartphone once you connect to it. TVS, technology is supposed to make your life simpler, not more complicated. But ultimately, all of that I can look past because this iQube is a fantastically well-rounded package at a competitive price. And the low price doesn't come at the expense of its value.
You still get the front disc brake, you still get the big underseat boot, you still get the fast 650 watt charger, and you have a reasonable performance and range ceiling too. While most people will complain about the 60 to 70 kilometer range, and sure it does feel like a low number on paper, you need to ask yourself, am I really going to cover more than 30 to 40 kilometers in a single day?
If the answer is no, and if you do have secure charging at your home or office, then this base iQube is really a great way to save a lot of money.